So, welcome to my MMA predictions. You might like to know that from May I am bringing back predictions in brief for UFC and Bellator events, but I'm only doing the full predictions for the numbered championship events, and of course fighter of the card for every event, but probably not recap videos. So it'll be in the predictions video of the following one. I stopped to give myself a break, really, because the UFC have oversaturated the market. It is affecting it quite substantially, but I sort of miss it and I need to keep up to date, so I'm bringing it back. But before that, we have Sunday, April the 26th. And that's UFC 186, and I'm going to do the predictions video for that now. The fighter of the card I'm going to do as a separate video, because there's a few things to talk about in past events. The main event is Demetrius Johnson versus Kyoji Horiguchi. They both have very, very good records. Very good records indeed. I do think that Demetrius Johnson will be able to win this one. I'm not sure about it on the feet, but submission I think is a big possibility here, if not decision. So there we go. I'm going for him. Michael Bisping is fighting CB Dollaway. CB Dollaway is a very, very long-standing individual now in this sport. 16-7 is his record. Michael Bisping, 26-7, but he's been out for some time, I think. I haven't heard him for a long time. He's really sort of been replaced by Conor McGregor, hasn't he? Nobody's interested in Michael Bisping anymore. Some of us weren't interested in him in the first place. But there we are. Don't like him. However, I don't know. If he manages to win this, then he can continue sort of where he left off, climbing the ladder, so to speak. If he doesn't win this, then they're going to say ring rust. He's sort of a bit past it. Unfortunately, it's a very similar story for CB Dollaway as well, probably. Do you know? I don't know on this one. I would like CB Dollaway to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if Michael Bisping did manage to win that one. Fabio Maldonado and Steve Boss. Don't think I know Steve Boss at all. 10-1, he's got no picture. Fabio Maldonado, according to this, is seeded 13. Again, there's big issues with the seeds, but there we are. 22-7 is his record. Do you know? I'm going to put Fabio Maldonado winning that one. John McDessie versus Shane Campbell. Not sure how long John McDessie has been away for. Haven't heard from him in a while, but of course this could be because I haven't been covering the little sort of smaller sideshows, if you like. Anyway, 12-3 versus 11-2. I am going to go for John McDessie on that one. Wouldn't be surprised if it's a knockout there, at least statistically. But it's probably going to be a decision, isn't it? Let's face it. Yves Jabouin and Thomas Almeida. Perfect record of 18 for Thomas, mostly on his feet. However, that happens to be Yves Jabouin's biggest area of skill as well. And if in doubt, he can do the decision. This is one of those things where I don't know what sort of name Thomas Almeida has made for himself. Not one I recognise, but Yves Jabouin I do know very, very well. So if he wins that one, people will take notice. People like me. I'm going to go for Yves Jabouin on that just to be safe. Let's go to the sort of lower card now. Patrick Cote and Joe Riggs. Good heavens. sort of two almost journeymen by now. 40-15 is Joe Riggs' his record. 21-9 for Patrick Cote. Well, if Patrick Cote wins, it'll probably be a decision. Joe Riggs can possibly get a knockout. Don't really care. I'm going to go for Patrick Cote on that, but I could be wrong. There's a women's bout, Alexis Davis and Sarah Kaufman. I'll go for the one that's seeded higher, even though I've just sort of slagged off their seeding system, but there we are. What else? Who else? There we are. Chad LaPrise and Brian Barberina. Perfect record of 10 for Chad. I think he will win that. I think he'll win that. I think it could be a stand-up war. They're both very, very high in that statistically. According to this, I'm not bothering with Sherdog. Oliver Aubin Mercier and David Michaud, 6-1 versus 8-1. Oliver, all his wins are by submission, whereas David is extremely sort of well-rounded in the ways he wins. I don't know. Let's go for Oliver Aubin Mercier, shall we? And now the bottom of the card. We've got Nordine Taleb and Chris Clements. Gosh, difficult to tell. Neither of them seem to do submissions, statistically speaking. I think it's going to be a war on their feet. I might go for Chris Clements there. We've got a women's bout. Neither of them are seeded. Don't know either of them, and they both have typical names. Valerie Letonia, something like that, and Jessica Rakos. I don't know. And another women's bout. Aisling Daly and Randa Marcos, but those are seeded 10 and 6. I'll go for the one that seeded the worst this time. Only her record is much better. I'm going to go for Aisling Daly, although I think that if she were to lose, it would probably be by submission. And that is my UFC 186 predictions video. And no, there'll be no recap at the end.